I'm going to preview the 6 seed Baylor versus 11 seed Nebraska women's basketball game, which of course is at Cameron Indoor Stadium. The game is tomorrow at 1 p.m. Central Time on ESPN. Granted, the game could start a little bit later because the 3 seed Duke is taking on the 14 seed College of Charleston, like literally 10:30 a.m. Central Time. You never know how long that game is going to be, but I apologize for looking at it because I cannot memorize all this stuff. I couldn't have gone over this matchup any quicker because Nebraska played it in a playing game. They took on 11 seed Richmond, and Richmond was hanging in there in the first quarter. Second quarter, Nebraska pulled away, but then Richmond fought back, and they were only down 34-32. But the third quarter was the difference in the game, to say the least. 27-6, Nebraska won that quarter. Yes, I know Nebraska did blow a lead against Indiana in the prior game and lost. But still, they were really good in position. And sure, Richmond scored 18 points in the fourth quarter, but that was like a little bit of garbage time. Nebraska only scored 14. So Nebraska is 19-12 overall, and 7-11 in the Big Ten. Now, Baylor's 24-8 overall, 13-5 in the Big 12, and that obviously is a former Big 12 matchup. Granted, the coaches have changed since that meeting in the Big 12. Well, that's clear about that. What are some players to keep an eye on for Nebraska? And I will mention this. They did have somebody play for the first time since February 19th, but didn't play a lot of minutes. And I'll go over that player right now just to get it out of the way, and that's Eliza Maupin. And Baylor fans should recognize that name because she was at Kansas State prior to Nebraska this year. She's number 21, 6'3" forward as a senior, 7.6 points per game, 29.2% on threes on 24 attempts, 78.2% on free throws on 55 attempts, 4.4 rebounds per game, 1.8 turnovers per game, 0.7 steals per game, 0.7 blocks per game, 2.2 fouls per game. Okay, that's clear and obvious. We'll see how much she plays, if any, because she didn't hardly play against Richmond. So that's just a heads up right there. Now, in terms of the best player, it's clear and obvious. It's Britt Prince, number 23, 5'11" guard as a sophomore. 17.6 points per game, 45.9% on threes on 85 attempts, 90.5% on free throws on 106 attempts, 4.1 rebounds per game, 4.5 assists per game, 2.7 turnovers per game, 1.5 steals per game, 1.9 fouls per game. It is Amaya Hargrove, number 33, 6'2" forward as a sophomore, 12.9 points per game, 40.4% on threes on 57 attempts, 81.2% on free throws on 69 attempts, 5.3 rebounds per game, 0.7 turnovers per game, 0.6 steals per game, 1.9 fouls per game. That's Jessica Petrie, number 25, 6'2" forward as a junior. 11.4 points per game, 28.4% on threes on 95 attempts, 76.3% on free throws on 59 attempts, 4.8 rebounds per game, 1.8 turnovers per game, 1 steal per game, 1.1 blocks per game, 2.1 fouls per game. There's Logan Nisley, number 2, 6-foot guard, that is a junior, 8.8 points per game, 43.1% on threes on 144 attempts, 85.7% on free throws on 28 attempts, 2.3 rebounds per game, 2.4 assists per game, 1.3 turnovers per game, and 0.8 fouls per game. There's Colin Hake, number 14, 5'8" guard as a senior, 7.3 points per game, 34.4% on threes on 128 attempts, 87.5% on free throws on 48 attempts, 2.5 rebounds per game, 3.7 assists per game, 1.6 turnovers per game, 1.4 steals per game, 2 fouls per game. That's Petra Bozon, number 4, 6'3" forward. That is a sophomore, 6.8 points per game, 6 for 30 on threes, 58.5% on free throws on 41 attempts, 3.5 rebounds per game, 1.2 turnovers per game, 0.6 steals per game, 2.3 fouls per game. This Claire Johnson, number 5, 5'9" guard, that is a sophomore, 3.6 points per game, 23.3% on threes on 43 attempts, 24 for 32 on free throws, by the way. .6 turnovers per game and 0.6 fouls per game. This Kendi Williams, number 15, 5'4" guard. That is a freshman. 2.5 points per game, 26.2% on threes on 42 attempts, 64.7% on free throws on 17 attempts, 0.9 turnovers per game, 0.9 steals per game, and 1.3 fouls per game. I might as well just go over one more player, and that's it, and that's Haley Weaver, number 1, 6 foot guard. That is a senior, 2.5 points per game, 41.4% on threes on 29 attempts, 59.1% on free throws on 22 attempts, 0.8 turnovers per game, 0.9 steals per game, 1.2 fouls per game. I'm going to say this right now. You got to play better than the last 2 games in general. After all, you lost back-to-back games, and obviously that TCU game on the road. Yeah, and then obviously that Colorado game. Whatever you did right in those games, you got to bring in this game. Whatever you did wrong, you got correct. Especially when it's lose or go home right now. You got to come out with a sense of urgency that you never had, you should have right now. Because like I said, lose or go home. You got to leave everything on the court, especially for those seniors. And I expect Nebraska to kind of do the same thing, I know. But it's just telling the truth. And the last thing Baylor wants to do is to lose 3 straight games to end the season. You got to be fired up and motivated. For sure, you got to make adjustments on the fly, both offensively and defensively, not just from first half to second half, but first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, and fourth quarter, and even during those quarters. You got to be good in late game situations, both offense and defense. And I know there might be some questionable officiating at times, but you got to be more mentally tough for a team and make plays to win at the very end of the day. You got to out-hustle Nebraska, and you got to come out with a lot of energy. And I do think this time off might have helped Baylor because it would have been 2 weeks since they last played, and I know they have practiced. And obviously you probably saw that Brittany Griner was there practicing with the team at late last week. And some other former players were there, like Sophia Young-Malcolm, Morrison Bartley was there. So you get the point. And even Brittany Griner was coaching them up, if you haven't seen that already, on social media and YouTube as well. So I'm just saying. Now, it's simple trend for Nebraska when they lose games. The majority of their losses, they have shot 33% from 3 or worse. And yes, I know they've won a few games despite not shooting that great from 3. But that's clear and evident. And I know there were a few other games that they shot really good from 3, 35% or better, including a 43% performance from 3. But they lost those few games, right there. So I'm just making a note. So it's clear and obvious, you've got to take away the 3-point line for Nebraska in this game. You can't let them get too comfortable on offense. And they only attempted like seven free throws all game, but they were 50% from three on 22 attempts. And I know Baylor players were there and the coaches were there. They traveled yesterday and they watched. And they obviously prepped as if Nebraska would have won anyway. And the same thing would have been said if Richmond would have won. Just to be honest, because you cannot assume one team's going to win and then it turns out it's the other. So it's clear and obvious, and they shot too good in the game against Richmond. You cannot allow that to happen in this type of game. You got to limit like the points in the paint some, but I'm not saying give up like wide open layups. I'd rather have Nebraska shoot long twos in this game than threes. Chase them off that 3-point line. I'm not saying give up layups, but you got to do something, and obviously you got to slow down Britt Prince as much as you can. Slow down the other players as well. And obviously another thing across the board I forgot to mention is you got to limit your foul trouble while getting them in foul trouble, especially to their better players, because that could make a difference in the game. And you obviously don't want to have like a technical foul in this situation or even a flagrant. So you get the whole point. And obviously you want to limit the points out turnovers as much as you can in this type of game. And Nebraska only had 22 points in the paint, but they gave up 30 to Richmond, and some of it was garbage time, I know. But still, you get the point. It's not like Nebraska really took care of the ball against Richmond. They had 14 turnovers. So that's one of the ways you could take away their offense is creating some turnovers, whether it's line ball or taking some charges and obviously getting some block shots. You don't want to limit them at the free throw line as much as you can. Got to contain the shooters, contain the slashers, and you especially got to key in on the better players for the team. And sure, you could let Britt Prince shoot a lot, but make her inefficient as much as you can in this type of game from the field. And you got to create like some turnovers because sometimes your best offense comes from your defense. And also you want to get a lot of defensive rebounds in this game. And you got to limit those second chance points as much as you can. Because that sometimes is a difference in the game right there. Now, speaking of which, like your best offense comes from your defense, you got to get some points on turnovers here. You got to get some points in the paint where it's like a drive to the basket or a pick and roll. I don't know about straight up post up, but or even get like some cuts to the basket. You get the point, and honestly try to take advantage of those mismatches if you have any in the game. So you get the whole point. And they do need to shoot the ball better than they have been in the last few games, obviously. From three, and Talia Scott needs to step up in this game compared to last one. She shot 5 for 21. Yeah, you don't want to put all the pressure on Talia because you got to have other players step up. I mean, Adariana Little Paige Buggs needs to step up. Bella Fonware needs to step up. And look, if she does get in double figures, they only lost one time this year. And that was against West Virginia. But she was very inefficient from the game. So I don't know about her 3-point shooting, but if she could step up on offense, that would really be helpful. And you got to limit those turnovers as well. You got to get some get some offensive rebounds, you get some second chance points. You got to get some fast break points, and obviously you want to limit those fast break points for Nebraska. You got to make your free throws at the free throw line, which Baylor is a good free throw shooting team, despite the numbers from the Colorado game when they shot 57% on 21 attempts, because they're like 74.6% on free throws all year long. So yeah, they got to make your free throws count in this type of game right here. And you got to have your role players step up in this game. And obviously having a Jana Van Geinbeek would really help if she would step up in this type of game. And surely she wants to finish her career strong, especially when, last year She did tear her ACL, and she wants to leave no doubt all she could give to the program right here in this type of game. And there's no guarantee that there will be another game. Remember that. And obviously, like a combination of Kirsten Johnson, Kayla Nelms, and Kyle Abraham needs to step up in this type of game. But for sure on defense and offense as well. I'm just saying. And obviously, if you have two of those three stepping up, that would really be huge in this type of game. And obviously, having like a Markayla Johnson step up, and she's been playing a lot better since that freshman wall that she had. That would really help, and obviously a Yu Dong as well. I don't know how many minutes will Ella Brow or Inez Gorinov will play, but still they need to do their role if they get in. And this isn't one of those dangerous matchups, I would dare to say, because look at the point spread right now. It's Nebraska by 1.5, but it's at the very end of the day, it doesn't mean everything, because we have seen upsets happen in terms of point spread before. And look, Nebraska does have the advantage of playing a game already, but they have to quickly recover. And I am sure that they already scouted Baylor prior to this game, just a little bit. But they had to focus on Richmond more. And now they have to do a quick turnaround. So that's probably the only advantage Nebraska has in this game, is playing a game already and try to shake off those nerves. And you got to obviously shake off those nerves, especially for those players that never have played in the NCAA tournament before. So I would come out ready to go, fired up, and expect a really close game, possibly. Because this Nebraska team really showed up big time against Richmond last night. Especially in that second half. They were up quickly against Richmond, then Richmond came back, took a lead, then Nebraska took it again. They pulled away a little bit in the second quarter, but then Richmond fought back, got down to 2, and then pulled away in the second half clearly. So, yeah. That's pretty much all I need to say about this game, honestly. It's win or go home now. There is no guarantee next game. And you cannot overlook this team for Duke. You just can't. They are dangerous enough. Because when they shoot the ball from 3 really good, they're hard to beat. The numbers prove it this year. So anyways, if you like this content, hit the like, subscribe button. See you guys later on the road to 800 subscribers, goals, ultimate goals, 1,000 more. Someone might this course like it helps YouTube background. Some more people see this channel. The video does help as well. Some more people could watch, and if you're watching and not subscribe, hit subscribe button for the notification bell as well. And yeah, they even forced 15 turnovers on Richmond last night, so they could force some turnovers on you, and that's been one of the problems Baylor has had on offense this year. So you gotta be ready and protect the ball a lot better than you have been. So that's all I gotta say about this game right here.